A quick hello and we're good to go. Welcome to the show, Purna Virji.
Oh, I love this intro. I need everyone to do this from now on now.
Yeah, it's obligatory. Well, in fact, we have met several times and you were incredibly kind to come onto my webinar series a year and a half ago.
You were very kind to have me on. I was very honored.
Oh, aren't we polite to each other?
No, it's true. I do. I had so much fun. I was like, please, can I get on? How do I get on?
Oh, right, brilliant. So, well, it was lovely having you. We were talking about really kind of smart stuff, machine learning. You're really, really smart, and I loved having you on. And today we're talking about something a little bit more simplistic, something easier to grasp, and something probably more within the grasp of marketers, of everyday business people.
Yep, it's something important that all marketers should do on a regular basis.
All marketers should do. And the topic is how to do competitor research using search.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Okay. So how do you do it? What's the first thing?
Well, first I want to give you a little bit of a story as to why this is important.
Ooh,
so this is back
you're good at this. Giving context.
A little bit of context. Hopefully it can help. So this is back when I was agency side in my previous life.
And now you work at Microsoft.
Now I work at Microsoft. So now I'm publisher side. But so agency side, when I had a client, they were a car dealership in a town in America.
Okay.
And they were doing incredibly well. Like their offer was, we will match the lowest price and we'll give you $500 cash.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, that's a really good deal, right? Anybody would want to be like, yes, I want to buy the car. But then over a period of time, we noticed performance dipping, like click-through rate was down, all our CPAs were going up, and we're like, what's going, cost per acquisition was going up, we're like, what's going on? And we racked our brains trying to look within the account, we like tore accounts apart, and we're like, what's going on? And then we realized it's not me. It's you, the competitor.
It's not me, it's you. This sounds like a breakup. Yeah.
It was, the competitors had cottoned on to this great offer and they were matching it. So we were no longer unique. We weren't standing out. And so our performance changed because of nothing we did. It was because of market forces around us.
I think that's brilliant. Sorry, because I find, I think you, me, we all tend to kind of look at these things and think, what am I doing wrong? What could I do better?
Yes.
And we fail to look at the fact that we might be losing market share, we might be losing clicks, we might be losing sales because the competitor's just done something brilliant.
Yes.
Or just done the same thing as us.
Or there's a new competitor that came in, or there's new indirect competitors. Like very often, sometimes, like what if a pet insurance company is bidding on pet toys and you're a pet toy seller? Now suddenly they're not exactly a competitor of yours, but now they're bidding on the same keywords. So all of these people can come in and impact your price you pay in the auction. But you can use the learnings from this, not just for paid search. You can take it and use it on social. You can use it for SEO. You can use it to build landing pages.
That's a really important point because when you're looking at your competitors, they're not just competing with you in search. They're competing on every platform. They're going to be a brand that's present on social, on paid, on search, potentially on Amazon as well.
Yeah.
And so as soon as you start looking at your competitors, and I think this is my big thing for this year, is it's a global marketing strategy, so you have to look at every platform that they're going to be present. But you've got this amazing technique for figuring out what they're doing and who they are through searching their brand name.
Yeah, so there's
two
my
brand
steps.
Name.
Yeah, I can
or our brand name.
There's two steps to this. The first one is you really want to identify who is the right competitor to go after. Because very often if you work with a client, then they'll have their competitors that, they feel extra strongly about these. Like this competitor I have a vendetta against.
And it's often emotional, isn't it?
Yes, it's emotional, but then they might not be the right competitor to who's stealing their business in the SERPs. We want to go after and look at the people where the same audience is doing searches. What are they seeing? Those are really the competitors who are in the auction. So there's a tool with both Google and Microsoft Ads have this. It's called Auction Insights. It's completely free. It's embedded within the UI for PPCs. So if you're not a PPC, ask your PPC colleagues to see if they can give you some insights into the Auction Insights report.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Sorry, is it then worth thinking, actually, I could just set up a paid campaign, a paid advertising campaign, just to get these insights? It might cost me a little bit of money to set it up. Is that worth it, or am I?
Yeah, it could work. You could put it for your biggest keywords for it, or put your most the keywords that you really want to get all the in-depth research on. I would say it's worth it.
And a quick thing about that, I mean, keywords or user queries, search queries, I prefer to say, it's those that have some kind of explicit intent. Ranking or bidding for something like paint doesn't make any sense. Ranking or bidding for buy paint in Oklahoma. That's worth aiming for.
It depends. You could bid on just paint if it's a remarketing campaign. If somebody's already been to your website before, they've already shown some intent, so you want to go broader with the keywords, so you show up more often. But yeah, if I was starting if my campaign was like purely like conversion focused, then the lower funnel, which would be less volume but would convert better, would be the one to go. So yeah, so either of these, you can even set up Auction Insight just for your brand name, because it's very interesting to see who's bidding against you in your brand terms.
Yeah. People hate that, don't they? I mean, having somebody bidding on your brand name is kind of scary. It feels like they're encroaching on your property.
Yeah, a little bit, right? But then I would also want to compete on my, I can see it from both sides. Like, I don't want them to compete on mine, but I want them to compete on my competitors. But sadly, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's kind of human, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you go into Auction Insight Report, you will see there's a couple of things. You'll see that one, I think, that could apply to all marketers is this, it's the outranking share, and then it is the...
Ooh, I always wondered what that meant.
It's how many times your competitors outrank you. And then you can look at the impression share, you can look at the overlap rate. The overlap rate is very interesting.
Sorry, just to come back to that outranking share. Yes. If my competitor has an outranking share of 30%, it means that coming up ahead of me 3 times out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can push up my bids or whatever to reduce that.
Exactly. So you'll get an idea of how competitive you are. So if your outranking rate is very high, then you're outranking everybody and you're in a good place. But then if others are doing better than you, then you want to be careful. But an overlap rate also helps. Overlap is when you're showing up and your competitors are showing up. So how often do you overlap in the same auction? And that also tells you who are the biggest competitors. So once you identify a couple of these people, then you can just go in and just do simple searches, like literal searches, and then you can go and get tons of insights. So the first one is...
Oh, sorry, I know this is really obvious, but I think it's good to say. You now know where they're focusing. So when you search, you can look at what they're doing on that term.
You can get insights into them. So let's say if I have picked a term, so let's say if I'm a language learning company and I want to focus on...
You've got loads of different types of examples. You've had cars, pets, and language company.
You want to appeal to everyone. So there's everyone should practice something for me. But I also worked for a language learning company back before, so that was sort of in my head. But so let's say if I wanted to focus on like learning French, and I was promoting my French courses, so then I could run Auction Insights just for learn French as my keyword, and then I could see who's showing up for that. So once it identified the people, so I'm like, okay, company XYZ, company ABC, company other one are competing with me. XYZ are competing with me. So I'm going to go and analyze their ads and how they're positioning themselves on their landing page. So I could just do simple searches for my keywords, and I could analyze. If you want to analyze 4 areas, the first one is how are they positioning themselves? What's their value prop? Is it like USP? Is it like price? Is it a discount? Are they going for something else? So when I was looking for examples for my presentation, I just pulled up a search for Rome cruises, like cruises to Rome, because I was really desperate for a holiday at that time.
That's the 5th topic you've picked in less than 5 or 10 minutes. It's brilliant.
So then I was looking at 2 ads, and the same auction, the 2 ads are so different. The one ad was talking about, this is our ocean liner. These are our, we have no casinos, no kids. This is all about our ships. Like, come look at our boats. They're all talking about the experience on board. The other ad was talking about the location. Like, delve into the culture, like stroll around the streets of Positano and like all of that. So
they were selling. Hang on, they were selling a cruise on the on-land experience and not on the boat.
Exactly.
Wow. I love that.
They also mentioned some of the book. It's like it was lower in the ad was like mid-sized ships and all of that.
But that focus is incredibly different.
So different in the same auction. So now you can get insights. Like, all right, so then if I go and look at other materials from that competitor, I can see that they're all building the dream. They're painting the picture. So that's that you get ideas for what to build to test. So that's with that. The second thing you want to look at is the structure of the ad or what they're seeking as a conversion. What's the call to action? Are they going with the micro conversions? Are they going for call to learn more, download the white paper? Or
that's a micro conversion.
That's more of a micro conversion because it's not the main goal. Like the main goal might be the sale, but before you can get the big sale, you can do something.
So I was thinking it was call us and then we can heavy sell you. So it's
that could also be like call us now for more information or request a demo, right? Isn't that always the code that the sales guy's going to call you? So you could do that. That would be like the micro conversion is get the phone call and then the human can convert. So that's interesting to see because what they're trying to do, or like download the app and learn more. You get insights into what your competitors are really driving towards because that might work. And then the third one is again just the structure of the ad. Are they using ad extensions? So this is mainly for PPCs, but I also like to look at like are they focusing on ratings? Are they focusing on price point? Like what ad extensions are they using? Are they using longer ads or shorter ads? And this is really interesting. Like I was at a couple of events and I'm hearing this come up from different clients I visit or different events, but shorter ads versus longer ads, and that's what works better. So this is a really interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of curious about that. But is it not true that if you do a shorter description, then Bing or Google can add loads and loads of site link extensions and others, so they can actually make it what call out extensions. They can actually make the ad bigger, so you don't necessarily need a long description.
Well, we normally say like use as much as you need to be convincing, and then there's all the other elements that you can add. And usually, the higher the position, they will add more extensions.
I'll tell you what I love as a one of my favorite quotes, which is probably a misquote, is Mark Twain, who said, "If I'd had more time, I would have written less." And I love that. And you're saying, actually, when I look at stuff I write, if I sit down and think about it, I can usually cut out at least a third of it and still have the same message, and it's more effective, more efficient, and it's more powerful. There you go. More effective, more efficient, and more powerful.
I 100% agree. It's so much harder to write. Like if somebody's like, oh, it's only 600 words. I'm like, no. Let me write 2,000. I can churn that out faster than like the 600 well worded. No, that's a great quote. So these are the three areas that really apply to the ads and searches. But the fourth one, which is such an easy tip that everyone can do.
You look pained by the fact that people don't see it.
Do this, but you should do it more. It's like you always pay attention to your reviews and testimonials. Go look at your customers, your competitors' reviews. Go and read what are people saying about them. Their reviews online and feedback, and then you'll know what are pain points about them, so you can use that as a USP. Set yourself apart. Like, did you see the whole Burger King campaign, which was so clever? They showed the moldy burger, and they sort of did that. It's sort of
hang on. They showed a moldy burger to say
because they're talking about how they have no preservatives, whereas maybe some of their competitors have been dinged in the past for having a lot of preservatives, and their food doesn't go bad.
Okay, so they show it and they say ours will look like this after a day.
After 30 days, so they show the ad like they have a burger freshly made and they show a time lapse over like 30 days, and it shows it gets completely moldy. I'm like, that's genius advertising.
Just don't forget your burger in a box behind the fridge, and then come home drunk one night hungry. This
is the joy of no preservatives. Which I love that because it sort of reinforces.
And what they've done is looked at the pain points that their competitors have been having.
And then just put it in their commercial, right? So exactly. So if you can do that, if you understand the pain points in the competitors, and if you understand what people love about the competitors, you can use that to your advantage and mention it in your ad. If I can give you one more diverse example. You can give me.
We're on 6. Two hands.
I did a search for like online MBA, for example, and there's tons of different.
Gennaro Cuofano.
What's that, sorry?
He's got a thing called 4-Week MBA, and it's an online course about business studies.
Oh, fantastic.
And it's brilliant. Sorry, I'm doing a plug for my friend there.
Yeah, I love it. Everyone, check that out. I'm really interested.
Gennaro Cuofano, 4-Week MBA. The guy is absolutely brilliant.
Perfect.
You know what he does? Sorry, just before you finish.
Yes,
he looks at the financial statements of companies like Microsoft and Google and Adobe, and he analyzes what their business model is and how it functions. Isn't that a wet wow? Oh, it is. It's really cool.
I really want to do it now. I mean, I was just looking at that example to find a different example to try to cover different verticals. But maybe I want to do an MBA now. You've convinced me.
You're my favourite guest because you're managing to spread us out onto 6 different topics.
Well, it's true. It's something for everyone.
Yeah.
So if I looked at that, I looked at this ad and it was genius. The ad said it twice, like. The tuition doesn't raise, like the tuition is the same consistently, because there are some programs where the tuition goes up every semester.
What's the tuition?
The
tuition.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Accents. Tuition.
Oh, you were telling me earlier on that you have four
I know,
different
I have to
English.
speak like English and from Indian English, there's American English, there's British English. Like I am tired of learning more English.
And I just made it worse. I'm sorry.
No,
Okay,
no,
anyway,
no, it's totally
finish.
fine. Thank you.
Finish
for
your
doing
right.
that.
So the tuition fees go up.
Right, yes, it doesn't go up for this program. So they're like, the tuition never changes; it stays flat. All of that, and so then they're overcoming a pain point that competitors have.
Right.
And then the rest of the ad really talks about how it go up in your career, get the career of your dreams, and it's classes for busy adults. You could fit it in. So they're really understanding what people want, and they put it in one ad, which I thought was such a good ad. It stood out. It wasn't the topmost ad, but it was like third or fourth down, and it still stood out to me so much because it was good messaging.
And to digress a little bit in advertising, in Google ads or Bing ads, you don't necessarily...
Microsoft advertising.
Oh, excuse me. Microsoft advertising.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to be number one because, I mean, if you're number three but your message is much stronger, you get a cheaper cost per click, lower cost per acquisition, because people will be attracted to it because it's different and because it touches those pain points. So if you can make... If you can make incredibly good ad copy for your Microsoft ads or Google ads, then you can actually win the game by not ranking first because it's costing you less for the click.
Exactly. You just get out about worrying about your average position. You just know that your messaging is so compelling that you can still get more clicks without necessarily having to pay for positioning. But again, average position is something that we're deprecating. Google has, we're not going to report on it anymore.
Okay.
So we're just looking at different metrics because if you, not to get super technical, but if you layer on different audiences, then it's like a smaller pool. So I can have a remarketing audience, for example, on top of it, and then my position might be different for them versus
okay, right, okay. But I mean, average position can be very misleading. You think, oh, I've only got 3, but in fact, for clients, it just occurred to me.
Yeah.
If I've got an average position for my keyword or my search query of 3, it might well be that I'm 4 for clients or people who are searching who are not necessarily interested in what I've got to offer, but number 1 for those that really are. So I'm misrepresenting, or am I making this up?
It varies so much. What determines the position anyway? So I wouldn't speculate on just that one.
Oh, I allow myself to speculate because it's my show and I'm allowed to speculate as much as I like.
I'm just like, I would not be able to speculate.
So to wrap this up, and we've gone through the thing of saying, and basically you're saying just look at your competitors, think about what they're doing, think about what you can do better, what they're doing wrong, and communicate to, is it your mutual audience?
Communicate to the mutual, exactly, because you're going after the same people, but I can now take that info. So if I've understood, like, this is how they want to position themselves, these are the seasonal sales that they're offering, this is how they're driving people's traffic, now I understand what I need to do to set myself apart from them. And again, now I can feed it into my landing page, I can feed it into social media messaging, I can put it across different channels, and that info is not only for PPC. You can take PPC and then take that info
apply
and
it
spread
to
it everywhere.
All the different channels.
My former manager has a saying, so you can peanut butter it, which means just spread it around. So you can peanut butter it.
We can end with that because you can peanut butter it is an amazing quote for the end of the show.
From Leticia, so yes.
A quick goodbye and it's good to go. Thank you, Purna.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I need Jason singing for me all the time.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Brilliant stuff.
Oh, awesome. I heard that.